Okay, Scrafters, I've got another round 2 game for you here. This is Louos in the top right of Cerulean Falls versus JackTheFace in the bottom right. So Louos as the Zerg player and JackTheFace playing Terran. This is an unusual position for the supply depot. I mean, normally you build it here so that it kind of joins up with the edge of the ramp so that you can get a complete wall off. But this is kind of in the middle, so maybe we're going to see a barracks on either side of it or something like that. It doesn't really matter. But you know, when you're playing against Zerg, it is always a good idea to build a wall. Yeah, okay. So our Zerg player has straight away gone for the expand, as you would expect, really. This map, in terms of playing as Zerg, you know, the expo is pretty straightforward. The third is not too bad. The fourth is not too bad, but there is a ramp up into it, which makes it a little bit trickier. So generally when I play on this map, I prefer this and this actually to be my fourth, with my army positioned sort of in this region. But it can start to, you certainly get stretched once you're up on 4 bases in this map. From the Terran's point of view, yeah, you know, look at the size of this map. It is pretty substantial, but whoops. You can kind of, you tend to see this map get split with expos in this region, and then players work their way up like that, and you split the map vertically. It's a bit trickier to extend across horizontally in terms of the order that you expand in. But let's see whether this game even gets that far. We noticed that Louos has been mining gas and is sort of a third of the way to being able to afford a metabolic boost. The hatchery down here is finished. We've got queens in production. So it doesn't look like there's any sort of terrifyingly early ling harass about to happen. 4 lings in production, so you know, very, very normal to get a handful of lings out in the early game. I just sent them out onto the maps just to have a look around, if nothing else. Head up the ramp, see if you can get into your opponent's base. You know, even the lings can serve a bit of value, even if all they see is, even if all you get from them is what they get shot by. It gives you some indication of how many units your opponent's got. Of course, the Overlord did manage to have a bit of a look at the front here. This is a very weird position for a missile turret, and this is probably going to get shut down. There aren't any units on the map yet for JackTheFace, so I think this. Yeah, the links do get in, and they're going to have a nibble at this reactor. I'm not sure that I would choose the reactor to nibble. We're going to get 2 Marines popping out momentarily, and if the links can get a surround on the first Marine, they can certainly kill them both. Not if, well, I think they are going to get them both anyway. Yeah, you know, in terms of utility of these lings, I think I would much prefer to see them actually just attacking workers and killing workers. So we do finally get a bit of a nibble on a worker. A couple of workers then going down. You know, with metabolic boost about to finish off, if I see this weakness in my Terran opponent, if I notice that they don't have any units, I'm surrounding the bunker with lings so that the Marines can't get in there, and I'm just holding down the Z button, and just, you know, a whole line of lings would be coming across this map, and I would just end the game here because it really doesn't look like JackTheFace has got anything to do with this. You know, the workers aren't being pulled. They need to be pulled back to where the Marines can help them out within range of the bunker, and just kind of tease the links backward and forward. You know, it looks like this is just going to be GG. And arguably the trouble started with this supply depot, didn't it? You know, it wasn't really in the right place. Playing against the Zerg, you've got to have a wall, really. And Terran is very good at having walls, so yeah, I don't know, no wall, the links get in. Like, you can't really say that Louos pressed particularly hard. You know, what showed up initially was 4 Zerglings, and then that got followed up by a handful more. But it wasn't exactly a hold down the Z button job. you know, his hatchery was up early enough. There is tech happening here as well. The Evo chambers are researching. You know, it's a fairly balanced build really from the Zerg player. I'm not sure why Louos at this stage is holding back. You know, maybe he thinks his opponent has got some stuff out on the map somewhere, which he doesn't. But you know, I don't know. Let's have a look at the army supply. There's quite a few lings on the map. That actually, funnily enough, almost even. You know, I don't really know why he didn't just continue to press. There was only ever like a marine or two to try and deal with it. If the lings had stayed in the base, they could have killed things as they were being built, and none of these units would have seen the light of day. So I think Louos certainly could have just ended the game there, but no matter, he hasn't done that. But he is in a massively advantageous position. I mean, the income he's got off 2 bases, about to be 3, is enormous compared to the Terran. He's mining gas, the Terran isn't. Still no wall here from JackTheFace, so you know there's still plenty of opportunity to send these lings back into the mineral line. Cyclones are great units, not that fantastic against Zerglings. You're much better off with the Hellions that do splash damage. So I don't know. I don't quite get what Louos is waiting for. I don't know why he isn't just cranking out just furious numbers of lings. Instead, he's building swarm hosts. I think he's turning this into a longer game than it needs to be, really. You know, you can end this. Your opponent's only got 5 workers mining minerals, and you've got 2 bases worth. You can easily just end this, but we'll see what happens. So if you're JackTheFace and you're thinking, I have stabilized, I have seen it off, I'm obviously, you know, you're a little bit behind, what do? You know, to be honest, as I've already mentioned, the first thing you do is you plug the gap. The next thing I would be building would probably be a widow mine, because if you know your opponent has got large numbers of lings, if the gap has been plugged when the lings come up, the widow mine fires, and it can do an awful lot of damage to them, and it can seriously reduce ling numbers. I'd also be considering some Hellions. But none of those are really, neither of those things are the killer blow that are going to get you back into the game. It's hard to see a way back in, really, but certainly those things would help you stabilize. Arguably, in terms of arguably in terms of getting back into the game, what you really need to think about is, okay, what if I crank out something like Cloak Banshee, and hope for the best that my opponent has no detection whatsoever, because that could really change the game. So the swarm hosts fire off their first wave of locusts, and it looks like they're going to get this factory with things building as well. So that is painful. You don't get that money back, that queue of things, that whatever it was, a couple of cyclones maybe, you don't get that money back. So that is lost, unfortunately. The swarm hosts, there are quite a few of them now. If you look at this ability that they have, it's got a 43-second cooldown, which is quite a long time. So these ones that fired that first volley, it is going to be a while before they're ready to fire again. But these newer ones are ready to go. So, you know, why stop there? I'd quite like to see the next wave of little thingies, whatever they're called, locusts. I'd like to see the next wave of them. Looks like JackTheFace has just thought, right, let's go in and have a poke. What have I got to lose? And yeah, what have you got to lose? The 2 cyclones and a reaper, you know, aren't really going to get a huge amount done. These locusts are making their way over here, but bear in mind they time out pretty quickly, so all that travel time means that actually they're going to get very little done indeed. Yeah, so it might be worth thinking about repositioning these locusts, you know, just move around the front and have at the front door, possibly even load up an overlord with them. So the hatchery here taking quite a lot of fire, sending everything home, and there's just no need, just send the lings. Lings are fast. I mean, these swarm hosts, you're not going to kill these with swarm hosts, are you? You're just going to swarm these things. So the hatchery taking actually an awful lot of damage. Is he going to get this? Oh, you're kidding me. Seriously, a reaper and 2 cyclones took out that hatchery? That's this is insanity that I'm watching. So JackTheFace lives on in a game that, to be honest, he should already have just been stomped off. Look at the supply here, like 13 to 153. How are we still in the game? How is this even happening? How has Louos just lost a base to the player with 14 supply? I don't understand. I don't even know what's happening. Anyway, this command center is not even building workers. Look, it's almost like he doesn't like money. JackTheFace, come on now, get this guy back to work. Get this guy back to work. Get these turned into orbital commands. Get some money. You can't win without money. I mean, not that money, not that money in the bank wins you the game, Louos, but certainly you do need to have some. This army, you can just go across the map now and end this. Just march up here. There isn't anything to contend this. So. Hopefully we'll see what can be done with all these. I was going to call them spellcasters. The infestors are spellcasters. I don't think this quite counts as spellcasting, but I don't know. They're certainly units that need microed. Ravagers need microed. Infestors need microed. Swarm hosts need microed. So you do have to kind of engineer this a little bit, but there is more than enough here to end this. The corrosive baths alone from these ravagers to command this game. The swarm hosts are throwing locusts up into the men, while the stuff down here is slowly but surely just picking this up. The infestors don't know what they're doing. They're nuzzling against the command center for want of anything better to do. They don't even know why they're here. Look, hopefully we're going to see, I don't know, some infested Terrans. I'd love to see a infested command center be built, because that would be super cool. Actually quite difficult to do. The Zerglot achievement is relatively easy. The Zerglot achievement being the one where you use mind control from an infestor to grab a probe, build a nexus, build a pylon, build a gateway, and eventually build a zealot as a Zerg player. Which is cool. To do it as a Terran, to do that the same thing against the Terran is much harder, because you have to mind control the STB the whole time it's building the command center, which is nearly impossible. You need a lot of infestors need to keep redoing the mind control because it time's up. Anyway, that's the end of the game. GG. JackTheFace was defeated. Louos was victorious. So hopefully in game 2 we're going to see JackTheFace build buildings in a way. Just throw out a fungal. What's he doing? He's still in the game. What is this? You can't fungal your own units. They don't. They're immune to it. There's the infested Terran ID pops for the swarm. He loves it. This guy. Look at him there. He's got like stuff and all coming out of him. Minging. Yeah, let's crack on with the second game, which will hopefully be slightly less one-sided. Oh, yeah, he's he tucked it in like that. No one's dancing. I think have you got the backslash the wrong way around? I think maybe the backslash is the wrong way around. Anyway, I don't think swarm hosts do dance, do they? Not all the units can dance. It's only some units that dance. I'm not sure that swarm hosts are among them, and if they are, they certainly can't do it while they're buried. Anyway, GG.